اللهم صل على المصطفى حبيبنا محمد عليه.
You've arrived at your destination. You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al Ansar. Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
Muhammad alayhi salam. You are the greatest man we look up to. And I stay faithful, I learn my lessons all through you. The final prophet, he led the way, so we stay true. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Mustafa Habibna Muhammad.
11 minutes past 8 o'clock. It is a Saturday morning, the 8th of February 2025. You are in the company of Kelly Ramazani on 90.4 FM if you are in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB. It is Radio Al Ansar, and the show is called Career Compass, where we talk all things career related. We talk about careers that are advancing with the rapid rise of technology, because guess what? Whatever you're studying has the possibility to be irrelevant in the next few years if you do not catch up, if you do not brush your skills. So we talk about all the necessary information to keep you up to date with your skills, with your qualifications, with the opportunities locally and globally, side hustles, career advancements, degrees that are in demand locally and globally, and all the in-betweens, including self-development. How can you become a better individual, a valuable individual for that matter? Now, today, we're talking all things back to campus. Well, if you are a university student, you know that we're now currently going through our open week. Some schools have started. Others are going to start end of Feb, others beginning of March. Also, if you are in matric or you were previously matric last year, you're super excited to go into university or your college. It's going to be your first year. I've got some news for you. Okay. The topic we're talking about today is, how is high school different from varsity, or how is varsity or college different from high school? Whichever way you're going to put it, it's still the same. And also, you listening to us right now, we welcome you into the discussion. Send in those voice notes. What advice do you have for first year college students or first year university students? Because I have a whole story to tell you. When I first went to varsity, my, oh my, I had expectations. I had dreams. I had goals. I had everything. I even had a journal with my to-do list, with how to act, how to behave, what to dress. Listen, I was fully prepared. Ha, ha, ha. Lo and behold. Wow. What a shocking experience it was. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. You too can send in those messages, recall those days if you're done with varsity. Or even if you are still in university, maybe you passed your first year, either second year, third year, fourth year, seventh year, if you're a doctor or the likes. Send in those voice notes, 060-904-1056. How is varsity? How is high school different from varsity? And what advice do you have for first year varsity students? We'll be talking to Tando Sibisi, who is also a third year BCom Law varsity student. talking to us about her experience. Hey, Varsity is showing her flames. She is going to tell us all about it. This and so much more right here only on 90.4 FM. You are in safe hands.
I remember when I first met you, I felt that God answered my call. There was that one place I always thought about, and I just wanted to be there with you. The place that no eye has ever seen, the place that no heart has ever perceived. I had a great feeling inside of me that one day I'd be there with you. And now that we're here, feeling so good about all the things that we went through, knowing that God is pleased with us too. It's not a dream, this is so true. Feeling the peace all around, seeing things we can never imagine, hearing the sound of rivers flow, and we know we'll be here forever. The feeling is indescribable, knowing that this is our reward. Do you remember the hard times we went through, and those days we used to argue, but there was not one thing that could bring us down, 'cause we always had in our minds the place that no eye has ever seen, the place that no heart has ever perceived, the place we've been promised to live in forever. And best of all, it's just me and you. And now that we're here, feeling so good about all the things that we went through, knowing that God is pleased with us too. It's not a dream, this is so true. Feeling the peace all around, seeing things we can never imagine, hearing the sound of rivers flow, and we know we'll be here forever. The feeling is indescribable, knowing that this is our reward. I remember us praying at night and just dreaming about this together. I'm so blessed to have you in my life, and now we can enjoy these blessings forever. Paradise is where we are now. Paradise, a dream come true. Paradise, oh what a feeling. Paradise, thank you Allah. And we're here feeling so good about all the things that we went through, knowing that God is pleased with us too. It's not a dream, this is so true. Feeling the peace all around, seeing things we can never imagine, hearing the sound of rain flow, and we know we'll be here forever. The feeling is indescribable, knowing that this is our reward.
What a smooth nasheed that is, Mahar Paradise, and that's where we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unite all of us in Jannah, our final destination, where we will live forever. There will be no sorrow, there will be no homework, there will be no assignments. There'll be no work. Oh, man. But anyways, we are here on Earth, so let's make the most out of it. Now, starting with some kickoff news, some current affairs. We all know that the State of a Nation address, SONA, took place a few days ago, and the president really gave us a good speech, hey? I'm hopeful. Yes, my hopes have been revived. They've been renewed. I hope that he will carry this through. So a lot of talks were being, done. Now it's time for action. He addressed some of our sensitive topics that we have been asking questions about. Mr. President, poverty, unemployment. Can you see that? Do something. He says, trust me, guys, I got this. Okay. So we trust him. But one thing that he mentioned that I was super excited about was logistics. Just last week here on this show, Career Campus, we interviewed Jafari Kabura, who is the CEO of New Horizon, and he spoke about the importance of logistics. We all know that logistics is the backbone of every country because this is how they ensure goods and services move efficiently from one point to another. So this is very, very important. Logistics involves transportation, warehousing, inventory management, supply chain coordination, distribution, and all the in-betweens. It's a vast industry. And this it's very crucial for all businesses, industries, and the economic growth. Some time back, we spoke about how logistics was doing better than the manufacturing, mining rather, industry in South Africa in the last GDP quarter of 2003 quarter, was it? Okay, I need to get my facts checked. All right, in 2024. All right. So we did mention that this is very important because logistics plays an even more significant role in South Africa. We need to grow our economy. We need to create those jobs. And he said, we're going to open new harbors. I was like, yeah, this is good news. This is good news. So I'm hopeful. Remaining with good news, there is also ideas of new fuel coming to South Africa or being invented in South Africa. I don't know which is which, but at the investing in African mining in Durban in Cape Town on the 4th of February, a new initiative to produce renewable fuel in South Africa was revealed. So that's great news there. The project, which aims to reduce fuel cost and benefit the environment, because hey, as much as we want low cost of living, we also are team protect the earth, team eco-friendly, that's what we are. We're here to protect our lovely earth. So if we can get something that is helpful to the people and also causes less harm to the earth, what a situation. It's a win-win. We'll take it. So that is the great news. However, it's still an idea. There's still a whole lot of work to be put into place for it to come to life. So fingers crossed that inshallah things are looking great. Things are looking better. The future seems to be brought. It seems to be brought. Now, yesterday was massive. Last night, rather. It was great. We attended the Yusuf Bassem concert comedy show. It was phenomenal. Shout out to all the organizations, the radio stations that made it happen. It was great, honestly. Once in a while, you need that laughter. You need it. So it was great. We got to see him in person. We took a few pictures. So if you want to see that, you can find it on our social media pages, or you can find it on my social media pages. A little marketing here and there, okay? Self-marketing. All right. Now we're moving on to skills that are needed in every and any workplace. Every Sunday, we give you a soft skill that is needed in your workplace, but also, okay, Asif is saying something. Please hold your mic. Every Saturday. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that. I actually said every Sunday. Every Saturday. The show is a Saturday morning. Okay. Every Saturday. Thank you, Asif, for that. I talk too much. Hey, let's take a break, please. Because, wow.
Career Campus with Kelly Ramazani.
With 49 years of motoring experience, Metro Car Sales Peter Maritzburg, your largest independent dealer, keeps you rolling to your next destination. As an approved dealer with all major banks, we offer in-house finance arranged within the hour, tailored to your needs. Visit us today at number 1 Boshoff Street, Peter Maritzburg, or online at metrocars.co.za. Metro Car Sales, your number 1 dealer in wheels, proudly serving you since 1976.
You've spent all that time, effort, and energy putting together an incredible business. Now, you need to tell people about your business. Advertising and marketing, it's what we do. Listen to this.
Absolutely amazing. It's been my first experience working with a radio station. So you don't actually know what to expect. And you also feel like, you're just going to be a number. But at Radio Al-Ansar, I was just not a number. I think the support that we've got has been amazing. You guys have been absolutely amazing. You guys have opened doors for us that a couple of months ago, I wouldn't have thought possible. I think the support for me has been the greatest. It's so widespread because you guys are on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, not just radio based. We've got people in Johannesburg listening to you guys. So it's so widespread. We're getting that marketing.
Get in touch with our sales department on 031 208 1601. Speak directly to your target audience. As promised at last year's Durban Summer Cirque, part of our profits will go to making a real difference in our community. The Al-Ansar Foundation proudly completed its first borehole for the community of Redcliffe. With water shortages affecting many, our mission is clear. Let's bring clean water to more areas in need. Join us in making an impact. Call outreach on 031 208 1601 or visit alansar.org.za to help build more boreholes and transform lives.
Radio Al-Ansar, 24/7, 365.
You've arrived at your destination. You're listening to Career Compass on Radio Al-Ansar.
It is Career Compass with me, Kelly Ramazani, every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 90.4 FM if you are in Durban, 105.6 FM if you're in PMB. That's Radio Al-Ansar. We were talking about soft skills. Every week we pick for you a soft skill that you need to work on. And if you do, it's guaranteed to include value in your work and productivity, but as well as you as a human being. It's self-development, all right? So for this week, we are going to talk about teamwork and collaboration as a soft skill. I need to share my story with you here. Now, many companies, as much as we're always talking about technology here and how important it is to brush your skills and just know how to navigate through the technical world of matters, because that's the future. But many companies are also looking for a team player, and especially with us here on radio, there are times where you need to stand in or stand by. You stand in for somebody else, okay? So you need to be a team player. You need to be somebody who other people know they can rely on you, they can trust you to come through. I'm not saying in terms of being easygoing so you can be taken full advantage of. You need to lay boundaries. We spoke about it the other day. But being a people's person where others can find safety in you is very important in life, not just in the workplace. So being a team player, knowing how to collaborate with others is a very crucial soft skill that is needed in any workplace, ensuring that employees work together effectively to achieve a common goal. However, we do understand that when people come together, they will argue, they will disagree, there will be disputes. Yeah. And that's why problem solving is important. Conflict resolution skills, we've spoken about this, right? So today we're going to talk about why collaboration and team playing is important. Now, with me, I was raised in a household where my parents were quite overprotective, but that's not the challenge. The challenge was that they would teach us to do without it. Okay. And I'm saying it's a challenge because I will get to the details. Maybe now, maybe later on, because we have our Kola Tando that we need to get to. But just quickly, right? So when I grew up or when I was raised, my parents would always tell me, do without it. Okay. If you don't have it, then do without it. And that's the mindset that I always had. The good thing is with that mindset is that it makes you hyper independent. So I would get something done on my own without anybody's assistance, without anybody's help. That became a challenge because when you are hyper independent, you are not a team player. You don't know how to allocate tasks to other people. You don't know how to include others in your projects or works because you feel like nobody will do it the way you want to do it or the way you can do it. So that was my challenge. Now, when I started learning, because I'm into psychology, human behavior, and mindset, and I always say this on air, and I started learning some of the things, and I realized, holy sharks, that's actually a trauma response. But it's not traumatic on my side because I haven't experienced any horrific or traumatic incident that would justify that behavior. It was something that I was raised with, meaning maybe my parents passed on that trauma response. Okay. And because you growing up, you don't question anything, you just take it with you. But then you enter the business world and you realize that you have a lot of unlearning to do because some of those things that you have or you've learned from back home, it's not working in the real world. You cannot come to work and do without it. If you need help or if you need somebody else, reach out. Reach out because the workload will overburn you. Okay, it's going to burn you. You are going to experience overburnt. You are going to experience burnout. You're going to experience depression. You're going to be in a group full of people and you'll make them feel unappreciated simply because you don't include them in your decision making. You don't include them in your project or whatever it is. And so I learned how to reach out. And guess what? That was in my work, my field of employment. But that habit, breaking free from that habit of isolating myself, even though it's unintentional, people say, oh, you're a people's person, you talk to everybody. But when it comes to doing my work, I do it alone. Like I don't understand what value or contribution you would give me that would make the work better. And that was translated as arrogance. I would isolate myself, not intentionally, but that's just how I was raised. Do without it. You find ways, which means you're creative. You find alternative ways to get the work done, but you can do it yourself. You are self-sufficient. Nobody is self-sufficient. Nobody. And once I worked on that, guess what? My relationships bloomed. My friendships bloomed because I'm able to reach out to people. And how will you know that the people on your team are supportive or genuine or have certain talents and skills if you do not include them? So do that. That is the soft skill that we are going to work for this week: collaboration and teamwork. It boosts productivity. It encourages innovation and creativity. Having to hear somebody's idea in words, you're like, oh wow, I didn't think about that. That's really smart. You're now getting to hear different perspectives, which is very important. And it also enhances communication skills. Hey, the more you isolate yourself, the worse you are at communication. But the more you reach out to people, you understand that certain things you say can be offensive. So you work on that. Okay. And it also develops leadership skill. You are not perfect. You are not a good leader until you are able to unite people. Different backgrounds, different mindsets, different age groups. You are the person, the middle person that brings them all together. If you're able to do that, congratulations, you are a leader. And also reduces workplace conflicts. I know you're probably saying, hold on, Kelly. Me isolating myself causes conflict at work? Yes, it does. It does. First, it hinders your growth. Okay, nobody notices you at work. And that means there are less opportunities for you to grow. Okay. I'm not saying be the most talkative, most loud person in the room, but when you are present, let it be known that you are there. Translate it however you want, okay? But I'm saying if you are present, let it be felt. Let it be known that you are there. Leave your mark. Every single Saturday, I say this to you. So reducing workplace conflicts means that once you reach out, once you collaborate with others, you're a team player. And this will mean that you'll handle disagreements, you will hear people's frustrations and opinions, and they will feel included, not excluded. So communicate clearly, be open-minded, and of course, show respect, okay? This will make you reliable and, of course, a team player. I hope that helps. We are now going to be speaking to Tando, my love, who is on the line. And she will be talking to us about her experience as a BCom law student, but also a varsity student, because that's a topic we have for today. How different is high school from university? We will be right back.
Aman means safety.
The Amman School of Excellence in Finetown, South Africa, is securing the futures of underprivileged children by providing world-class education in a safe and nurturing environment. Sponsor a child for only 15,000 Rand per year or any amount. A quality education at Amman presents a pathway out of poverty and a brighter future for South Africa.
Africa Muslims Agency. Empowering, educating, inspiring.
They convinced the world to believe that terrorists look like beards and thobes. Now, as the facade cracks, one martyr after another, the world sees through the broken windows and now knows the true face of terrorism. It wears suits and ties and smiles behind lies.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
It is 25 minutes to 10 o'clock. You are in the company of Kelly Ramazani every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al-Ansar. We are talking all things career-related, advancement, enhancement, and all the beautiful words that you can think of. Your messages on 0609041056. I really appreciate them, and I see them, and I'll read them. But on the line, we've got a special guest that I did not want to keep longer waiting for us. All right, so we are definitely going to speak to Thando Sibisi, who is a third-year BCom law, commercial law, and she's sharing with us her experience of college, of university, versus how it was in high school. I cannot wait to laugh because I know I will laugh. Thando, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. It's so awesome having you on air with me today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I just want us to dive in. I know high school can be a bit of a challenge when we in it. We think, oh my God, these days taking long to end. Oh my God, I want to see the real world. Oh my God, I can't wait to grow up. Oh my God, I can't wait to get out of uniform. First of all, did you ever have those thoughts?
I did, most definitely.
And
all the time.
And you were looking forward to being a grown up, to being out of the uniform. And then it happened. You were finally out of the uniform. How did the real world welcome you?
Oh my God. Oh, it was so stressful. Very stressful. I think, everything just started making, I guess, sense. And stuff like that, but it was very stressful because registrations, everything like that, it's a very stressful time. You end up preferring high school because everything looked so much easier. You end up missing the time when you were just you knew you had to wake up, put on uniform, and just go to school, and then come back and do the same routine every time. But that ends up switching up when you go to uni. So yeah.
Oh my word. Now, what were some of the biggest adjustments that you had to make when you transitioned from university, from high school to university? I know you said registration, no more uniform. So that's a good thing. You get to wear your favorite clothes, right? Or is that a headache?
Yeah, true. That's also a headache because you have to actually think of outfits that actually do make sense, because you just can't go to school wearing whatever you feel like wearing. It has to make sense.
Yeah.
I
know a few people though that show up at school wearing whatever they think makes sense. So it doesn't.
Oh, I know. I know.
But for somebody who's listening right now and they're probably in high school doing their last year or maybe their first year in varsity, what are some of the expectations that you think, in your opinion, that people have when they go to varsity or college? What do they look forward to? What do they expect? What do they think it is compared to the reality?
I think a lot of people are just hyped up about the freedom expect of everything, because it's a thing of you leaving home, right? And you basically going to maybe a private accommodation or a race or something like that, and nobody's gonna be at your back telling you, oh, you have to be back at this time and stuff along those lines. So a lot of people, especially who transition from high school to uni, that's mostly what you're looking forward to.
That freedom.
That sense of freedom,
yes.
But also that freedom is not really that good.
Yeah, that is true. It can be
'Cause you end up-
overwhelming and a distraction.
It can be. Exactly. Because you end up forgetting what you're actually there for, right? And you end up going along with whatever everyone is
The
going along with.
vibes.
So, yeah.
You end up going with the vibes. That's where it's at, and hardly ever showing up at campus. So when it comes to the workload, Tando, how would you compare university to high school?
Oh my God, the uni workload is so much better. It's like it is
No,
a bit
Tando,
more
I'm
stressful
gonna.
compared to high school. I'm telling you, it is a bit more stressful compared to high school. But remember that you have like 8 subjects that you need to do, right? Compared to only like 4 modules per semester. Obviously, there are assignments. Obviously, there are tests. There are quizzes. There are those exams. But compared to high school, every day you had to have homework for the following day for all of those 8 subjects. Okay.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying uni is a bit better. It's just more stressful.
I did disagree, but now that you're mentioning that we used to have homework every day for 8 subjects, I kind of agree to a certain extent. I also think that high school work, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing. It wasn't really that hard. I would do the work. This is the worst thing to say on here, but I would do the work first period in the morning. I'm like, shucks, I forgot I had homework. And I'm like, and I'm scribbling right there and then. And it wasn't that hard, but varsity, my goodness, you're doing research for 8 days, 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm losing sleep. No, Tando, I'm disagreeing. I think varsity workload is just crazy.
I guess everyone has their own opinion,
that is true. That is true.
But
everybody has their own opinion.
I just think the workload is a bit better, honestly. I don't know. Because you do have that, like, you do have enough time to do your research, right?
That is
so
true.
It could be a thing of, are you able to, like, manage your time well or something like that? But if you manage your time well, you can, like, lessen the workload. But with high school, it's like, you need to do this today for tomorrow. With uni, you have like a couple weeks where you know that you have to submit maybe, say, an assignment in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or even a month sometimes. So, yeah.
That is true. But I also like the fact that you mentioned time management because with uni, like you mentioned in the beginning, that freedom, it's your own pace, your own time to understand something, your own time to complete something. Yes, there's a deadline, which you will be charged for if you exceed that deadline. But at the end of the day, it's within your timing. If you can manage time management, I think university will be easy for you and you'll be grateful that the workload is easy like Tando. Tando is a genius. She thinks, university workload is easy. Until I ask her how's her public law marks. But that's a story for another day.
Don't even remind me.
So what surprised you the most about university life, Tando?
Honestly, I feel like probably because in high school, most of the teachers are always like, lectures don't care. Lectures are not going to follow you. Like, they're not going to follow you around and ask you for your work and stuff like that. But that's like some of the lectures are not like that. They might not be as persistent as high school teachers, but if you do, like, say, need assistance, you could go to them.
Yes,
they will help you
100%.
in whatever way they can.
Yes.
So I think for me, that's what surprised me the most, because it was like something that was like
instilled in you,
like said so much that it ended up being like a mantra in my head. So yeah.
It makes perfect sense why the first year you decided to become a distant learner. Anyways,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna take out our off-air secrets here, Tando. Let's keep it. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense because when we were in high school going into varsity, the teachers would tell us the same thing you're saying. Like, don't think that you can rely on the lecturers. They won't follow you around. They don't have the time to attend to you. So if you don't know something or if you don't understand something, you'd panic. You'd look at your fellow students, be like, hi guys, can you help me with notes or whatever it is? Because you can't you weren't trained to approach the lecturer, but then I realized once you approach them, they're actually welcoming. They're very accommodating, and they would also assist you. However, there are some lecturers also who let's not get into that. All right, so no, let's not get into that. How do assignments and exams at university differ from high school tests, in your opinion?
You know, and like some high schools, I'm not going to say all high schools because probably some high schools do that. But like some high schools don't exactly like teach you in depth how to do references.
That is true.
You know? So when you get to your assignments, it's like you have to do like references or you're going to get like a plagiarism case, you know? But that's something you were able to get away with in high school. So for you to get into uni and start having to reference and everything like that, it starts being stressful, honestly. Because finding references is not something that you're actually thinking about when you're doing the research. Like say you're doing the research and you're writing everything down. And then you only realize later after you've already closed all the tabs. Now you have to start all over again just so you can reference.
Are you telling us a secret here?
It was a problem that I struggled with like the first semester of first year. But after that, it did get better because I learned from my mistakes.
So you're telling us on air that you can Harvard reference? You can Harvard reference in your sleep. You can do that? Harvard referencing is still hard for me. I don't want to lie to you. Okay.
It is hard, but I feel like obviously when you're researching, right, there's those thingies on top. So you just copy that and then you put it on another, like maybe like your notepad or something, or maybe on your laptop or on your phone, and then you just leave it there and you keep on researching what you're researching. That makes it easier because you're just going to copy and paste the reference and then put it at the end.
That is so
I guess
true.
you just have to work around it somehow.
Yeah, that is so true because sometimes I can open multiple tabs. I can open maybe 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, you know, and you taking parts of each, or maybe there is one that or two that made more sense, you know. So having to copy that link or copy that author's name and whatnot and all that information, have it in your notes or notebook or whatever, or your Word is very important. So thank you so much for that tip. I'm going to work on that. Now, how has social life been in university compared to high school?
Oh my God. It is a bit harder, but it isn't that bad because like they are like different people with different characters and different backgrounds. And also like you also see people with different like religions. Something that you're not necessarily like used to in high school, depending on what type of high school you're into. So there's all of those things that you need to adjust to and be able to be like appropriate in whatever you're saying, right? Yes, so you don't end up offending anyone just because you're not used to something. So yeah, I feel like that's just the way it is, I guess, the social life.
Yeah. What you mentioned there is very important. It's very, very important, and especially coming from a conservative Muslim family or background or something like that. We're not exposed to people who are different from us. You know, we're not exposed to other religions, other races. So we always experience a culture shock when you go into varsity and you're seeing somebody rocking up with a mini skirt and a jacket on top. You know, as a Muslim, you're like, holy shucks, how do you leave the house like that? You know, and then sometimes you also showing up in the middle of summer with a scarf and a abaya, and somebody else is wondering, what the hell? Can't you feel this heat?
Aren't you feeling hot?
You know, so these things that we get exposed to at varsity or college, you know, different backgrounds, the diversity, and it is open mind. I mean, it does open our minds because it introduces us to the real world that we can't just keep to ourselves. There is a lot of people out there from different backgrounds and different lifestyles, and we need to see how we can work together. Now, speaking about working together, how did you find friends and how did you network at university?
I had a hard time, I'm not gonna lie. I am a very friendly person, but obviously you never know if like someone is approachable. So I did have like a bit of a hard time making friends, but like it got easier and I managed to find some friends. So yeah, because my thing was that, like you said earlier on, I did take online classes the first year, right? So when I got to second year and I was doing like face-to-face classes with all the others, everyone already knew each other.
Yeah.
So I was just the only person who came here not knowing anyone. So it was a bit of a hurdle, but I managed to overcome it. I guess you just need to be open, you know, and just try and get to know new people and stuff like that. So yeah.
That is true what you're saying. You need to be open and approachable to life. Tando, it has been an absolute pleasure having you here on the show. Thank you so much for sharing with us your experience. But before we let you go, we'd like to ask you this one very important question that we always ask our guests for any advice that you have for the youth. But today I'm going to ask you an advice. Okay, well, you can give in any advice for the youth, or you can also give in advice for high school students who are preparing for varsity life. What do you have to say for them?
I think for the high school students, they have to have discipline and also remember what they're in university for, because it's very easy to get caught up in the newfound freedom. So they must make sure that they pay attention to their schoolwork and manage to allocate their time well. Obviously, you can't help but have that freedom and try to enjoy it, but also remember what exactly you're coming for.
Yeah.
So I think that's my advice for the high school students.
And the youth in general? Figure your life out.
Just try. Just try. That is hard. Just try. Everything gets better. There's literally nothing I can say. Everything gets better with time. Obviously, you just have to have that dedication and also know what you working for.
Yeah.
But yeah, just try. Nothing else you can do, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tando. Do take care of yourself and wish you all the very best in your varsity life, college life, and also life in general. So do take care of yourself.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. That is Tando Subisi, who is a third-year commercial law student, sharing with us her varsity or college experience. And hey, man, nah, it's chai, it's flames. But like you heard Tando say, just open yourself up to diversity, to opportunities. Be approachable. You never know. You never know. Coming up next, we're talking about careers that are in demand locally and globally, and then we will attend to your messages on 0609041056. You are in safe hands. Yeah.
عيش هتلاقي طريق لو مهما تضيق سيبها على الله عيش عيش اليوم باليوم لو تلقى هموم سيبها على الله قولوا معايا لو دقت بيك الأسباب ربك يفتح لك باب قولوا معايا لو مهما كانوا همنا كتير دايما في طريق ربنا خير عيش وتفائل خير لو عدت بير سيبها على الله عيش عيش وانسى الأحزان لو يوم زعلان سيبها على الله قولوا معايا لو دقت بيك الأسباب ربك يفتح لك باب قولوا معايا لو كانوا همنا كتير دايما في طريق ربنا خير
بطريق الله خفنا بننسى.
Ahmed Bukhatir, Simple Allah, and that is a beautiful nasheed that we played for you. We've got a few more minutes before we wrap up the show, so we are going to go directly into your messages. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Great show. Thank you so much. Please do tell us your name so we send a shout out to you. Assalamu alaikum. Read so much Durood Sharif that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam becomes surprised and happy and desires to meet you. Jazakallah for your message. Another message. Love your show, Kelly. Can you please read on air? I'm looking for a medical receptionist job. All right. For all our medical organizations, companies, and the likes, there is someone here who is looking to become a receptionist for a medical organization or company. In the Overport area or Musgrave. I have experience working as a medical receptionist. Please call me if anything comes up. So please take down the number if you are looking for a receptionist for your medical practice. The number is 081 524 0199. I'm just going to call that out one more time. It is 081 524 0199. A medical receptionist by the name Anisa, if I'm correct, because that's the name that comes up on our system. Thank you so much for your message. We wish you all the best in searching for your job. Another message comes and it says, hi, hello, how's it? How are you? It says it's a Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. My humble wish for you is may you always have a smile on your face, love in your heart, and peace in your soul. Jazakallah khair for that message. Continues to say, great show. This comes from Junaid. Shout out to you, Junaid. Got to meet Junaid in person yesterday. Amazing fella. So thank you for that message. Yes, we were supposed to talk about the careers that are in demand locally and globally, and you already know which field this is. I think I mentioned it last week. I'm not sure. I'm quite forgetful, but that's also because I say quite a lot of things. I need to start keeping a journal of the things that I said. So poultry, chicken, or farming is a big booming industry. And if I go into the details of this job, the net worth of it itself, without having an expert here on this show to tell us more, I'd be doing an injustice to you. So I'm going to keep this and get an expert to tell us more about it, because I can give you the stats, but you need the inside information, how to start if you are interested, how to invest if you want to, or what qualifications or skills do you need if you want to start your own. So we are going to get in somebody to come on the show and talk to us about it. But it is a farming sector that is worth about 62 billion rands, making it the country's largest agriculture sector, which is responsible for over 16.6 overall agriculture output. We're talking billions here. We're talking booming industry. We're talking money, moolah. Okay, that's because people love chicken. They're not going to stop eating chicken. I remember when when there was a bird flu and there were no eggs and everybody was panicking. I was panicking too, let me not lie. I'm everybody, okay? Now we're going to brush through and quickly move to degrees that do not careers that do not require degrees. Also, I wanted to get somebody on the show to talk to us about real estate agent. It's not as demanding as people make it. I mean, it's not as hectic. It's in demand, but it's not as hectic as people make it seem. You do need a qualification, and you need to register with some of the property practitioners, regulation authorities, and the likes. And of course, you have to be over 18 years old. You have to be a South African or hold any valid residency status. With regards to education, a matric is fine. It's not compulsory. Nowadays it's who you know. But it's a great industry for networking. You build relationships with many people involved in the industry, from the property developers to clients to other agents, so that there's growth. Okay, it's vast. There's also great skills that you might need to learn to become a real estate agent. Again, we will find somebody to come and talk to us. I was about to tell you a side hustle that was gonna pay you some money, and it's easy and in demanding, but time is not on our side, so I'll have to wrap it up. Just want to thank you for listening. For those that were watching us live on Facebook and Instagram, thank you. For those that were listening via FM, thank you. Those who are live streaming, thank you. To Asif, thank you for being the tech on duty, and our guests and everybody else. And to myself, I realized that I hardly thank myself. So thank you, Kelly, for a great show. Thank you for the hours of research put into the show. And yeah, that's it from me. And I say to you, find your purpose and leave your mark. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you next week, Saturday. Take care.
The greatest man we look up to, and I stay faithful. I learn my lessons all through you, the final prophet. He led the way, so we stay true.
Career Compass with Kelly Ramazani.
I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. He was respected, the most trustworthy of us all. We can never match him, but we try our best and give our all. I give my all and everything. Allahumma salli ala al-Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Mustafa Habibna Muhammad alayhi salam.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al Ansar News.